Behind every shadow, there is a story. And behind every story, there is a mind trying to be understood. Today, if you search the internet for anything related to healing, self-awareness, shadow work, trauma, relationships, or psychology, one name appears again and again: Carl Jung. You see his quotes everywhere. You hear his teachings in therapy rooms, spiritual retreats, life coaching, and even on social media. But have you ever wondered who Carl Jung really was? Why his ideas appear in so many conversations about healing and consciousness? Why millions of people turn to his work when they are trying to understand their pain, their patterns, and their purpose? Before we begin, I'd love to know what made you curious about Jung. Comment the word Jung below, just so I know you're someone who seeks deeper understanding. And now, let's begin. Carl Gustav Jung was born in 1875 in a small Swiss village. He grew up quiet, observant, and deeply introspective. Even as a child, he sensed two worlds: the outer world of people, school, and everyday life, and the inner world of symbols, dreams, imagination, emotion, and something deeper he could never fully explain. He once wrote that he felt like he lived a double life: one self for the world, and one self for the soul. This early awareness shaped everything he would later discover. Jung did not see psychology the way many others did. He didn't believe people were machines or that their emotions were problems to fix. He believed the human mind was a living, evolving system, full of stories, symbols, forgotten memories, wounds, desires, and incredible potential. He taught that every person is far more complex than their surface personality. Beneath the roles we play lies a vast universe influencing how we think, how we love, how we react, and how we hurt. He believed that beneath our conscious awareness exists something much larger: the unconscious. The unconscious holds childhood memories, both the beautiful ones and the painful ones. It holds fears, suppressed emotions, instincts, dreams, and hidden truths. It also holds the wisdom and healing we forget we have. Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This belief became the foundation of his work. Much of what we struggle with does not come from the present. It comes from the past. Our reactions, attractions, triggers, fears, and emotional patterns are shaped by what we have forgotten, denied, or buried. He believed the unconscious communicates constantly, through dreams, through symbols, through emotions that feel bigger than the moment, through repeating patterns, through the people we are drawn to and the people we fear, through situations we find ourselves in again and again. Jung believed the unconscious is not our enemy. It is our teacher, and its messages are invitations to grow. One of Jung's most powerful contributions is the concept of the shadow. The shadow is the part of ourselves we reject or hide. It contains the emotions we feel ashamed of: jealousy, fear, insecurity, anger, sensitivity. But the shadow also contains the parts of ourselves we abandoned to survive: our confidence, our courage, our boundaries, our creativity, our voice. Jung taught that the shadow is not dangerous. Ignoring it is. When we deny the shadow, we become controlled by it. When we face it, we become whole. He said, one does not become enlightened by imagining light, but by making the darkness conscious. Healing, to Jung, was not about pretending to be positive. It was about acknowledging our wounds with compassion, understanding them, and integrating them back into our whole self. Another major piece of Jung's work is the idea of complexes. A complex is an emotional wound that influences reactions and behaviors. If you were rejected as a child, you may carry a rejection complex. If you felt unsafe, you may carry a fear complex. These complexes activate without awareness, and suddenly you feel small, afraid, defensive, or overwhelmed, even if the current moment doesn't explain your reaction. Jung said, a complex has us, not we have the complex, meaning when we are triggered, the past is reacting, not the present. Healing requires awareness, recognizing when a reaction belongs to an old wound, not the current moment. When you see the pattern, you begin to break it. He also explored projection, the tendency to see in others what we cannot face in ourselves. If we deny our anger, we see angry people everywhere. If we deny our worth, we tolerate relationships where we are not valued. If we deny our vulnerability, we judge others for being emotional. Projection reveals the parts of ourselves that need attention. Jung believed that when we withdraw our projections, when we see that something we react strongly to is actually a reflection of our inner world, we take a step toward becoming whole. Another important aspect of Jung's work is the anima and animus, the inner feminine within men and the inner masculine within women. Jung believed every man carries intuition, emotion, sensitivity, and creativity, qualities society labels as feminine, and every woman carries strength, logic, structure, and direction, qualities society labels as masculine. When we reject these inner qualities, we become unbalanced. A man who suppresses his anima becomes disconnected from emotion. A woman who suppresses her animus may doubt her own power. Healing requires embracing both sides. Jung also introduced the idea of archetypes, universal patterns of behavior appearing across cultures. Archetypes show up in myths, stories, dreams, and the roles we unconsciously play. The mother, father, hero, healer, lover, victim, and shadow. These archetypes reveal fundamental human truths. Understanding which archetypes influence us helps us understand ourselves. Dreams fascinated Jung. He believed dreams communicate through symbols and metaphors. The conscious mind uses logic. The unconscious uses imagery. A house symbolizes the self. Water symbolizes emotion. Death symbolizes transformation. Jung encouraged people to explore dreams symbolically, asking what each image represents. Emotionally, he believed dreams reveal truths the conscious mind cannot yet face. He also discussed the persona, the mask we wear for the world. The persona is the image we show, the polite self, the strong self, the successful self, the spiritual self. But the persona is not our true identity. When we cling too tightly to the mask, we become disconnected from our authentic self. Jung believed part of psychological growth is gently removing the mask and discovering who we truly are underneath. One of Jung's most beautiful ideas is individuation, the journey of becoming whole. Individuation means understanding your wounds, integrating your shadow, developing emotional awareness, facing fears, healing complexes, and embracing your true self. Individuation is not perfection. It is authenticity, becoming the person your soul was always meant to be. He also believed in synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that seem mysteriously timed. Meeting someone by accident who changes your life. Hearing a message at the perfect moment. Seeing repeating symbols that guide your awareness. Jung believed these moments reflect harmony between the inner and outer world, signs of awakening. His work helps explain why we choose certain partners, why we tolerate unhealthy behavior, why we fear abandonment, why we repeat painful patterns, and why some relationships feel familiar even when they're damaging. Jung believed relationships reveal our unconscious patterns. We are attracted to what feels familiar, even when familiar is painful. We repeat what we do not heal. Jung taught that emotional pain is a doorway to truth, not a punishment, not a failure, but an invitation to look inward. He said, "What you resist not only persists, but grows," meaning the more we avoid facing our wounds, the stronger they become. Jung believed the things we fear often contain the key to our transformation. He said, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell," meaning to rise. We must explore the parts of ourselves we avoid. In today's world, where people feel overwhelmed, disconnected, and stuck in emotional cycles, Jung's teachings are more relevant than ever. People are awakening to their trauma. People are noticing their triggers, patterns, and inner child wounds. Jung's work gives us a map, not to fix ourselves, but to understand ourselves. His teachings remind us that healing is not linear. Growth is not instant. Awareness is uncomfortable, but consciousness frees us. When we become aware of our patterns, we stop repeating them. When we face the shadow, we reclaim power. When we connect with the inner world, our outer world transforms. If you are listening to this, there is a reason. A part of you is seeking deeper understanding. A part of you is awakening. A part of you is ready to explore the places inside you that you once avoided. That is the beginning of individuation, the journey of becoming whole. Before we close, I'd love to hear from you. Comment, "I'm beginning my Jung journey." Your comment may help someone else begin theirs. If this video brought clarity or comfort, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs it. And if you'd like to go deeper, watch my video Why We Endure Abuse. Carl Jung Explains. It pairs beautifully with today's message and explores unconscious patterns and emotional cycles. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for choosing awareness, healing, and understanding yourself with honesty and compassion. Until next time, stay conscious, stay gentle with yourself, and stay connected to your inner light.